Well, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? What am I doing up in this corner? Could be trouble today because guess who's running the ship now? Don't be concerned. Al still has the emergency brake on the whole broadcast. But I'm Anthony. I will be your host today. I'll be guiding us on this midweek battle with a team that stinks. But we'll get into all that. But first, my panel, everybody, how are you doing today? I'd like to start off with Cliff. Cliff, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's a Wednesday morning. We're halfway through the work week, and obviously we have Juventus playing today, which is always a much-needed reprieve from the daily happenings of work and life. So really excited for that.
And then down below here, we have always the gaffer, the one who keeps his eye on the prize because you never know where me and Cliff are going to take. So, Gaffer, how are you on this fine morning? Nice, bright and early.
Oh, it's a UV match day. I'm always doing good on match day, and I expect a beautiful, beautiful victory today from the boys.
Well, I already see some comments in here saying, Al's retiring. Well, possibly. Actually, that is not the case. We're just we have a lot going on at the All Juve cast. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. We're trying to bring you more content. More announcements on the way. But sometimes Al just he needs a bit of a break. So this week he said, I need a bit of a break. I'll put the old man in charge, and it could be trouble because guess what? I don't know where I'm going to take this. I didn't write anything down, but we'll see where it goes. So first, how about we start off with some news, boys? What do you think about that? Midweek.
Yeah, let's do it. Fire it up.
Midweek, not a lot of news. First one I want to start off with was Juan Cuadrado possible or contract extension. Cliff, let's start with you. We're going to be thinking about somewhere around a 2-year extension. What do you think about that?
Who is this again? I'm sorry.
Juan Cuadrado.
That's a yes. That's a yes. For me, he's a must-have in the squad. Whether he starts or if he's coming off the bench, he adds a spark to the team. Defensively, that was a creepy entrance. And Cuadrado, in terms of his defensive abilities, he's not super inept at that, or he's not super adept at that, I should say. But offensively, he brings so much creativity. He's so fluid on the ball, and his crosses inside the box are deadly, even maybe deadlier than Lord DeCilio's. But I think we must sign him. He's a must sign right now.
It's hard to disagree with that. He's been playing well. Last couple of games, he's been a little bit off, but you can't judge a complete contract on 2 games. Al, what do you think, my friend?
Yeah, I think Cuadrado, again, you need utility guys. It's one of the defenses we have for Bernardeschi. Cuadrado is even more so effective when he's on in the offensive phase, and he's a big part of Juve. It's not a coincidence. The past couple matches where he's struggled, that we've kind of struggled offensively. So I think it's a no-brainer obviously at a lower price, but I think you got to go for that for sure.
Well, and kind of piggybacking off of that, we've had this saga with the Paulo Dybala contract extension. When's it going to, meetings after meetings after meetings. It looks like to me that's going to get done. And Fabrizio Romano was reporting yesterday that the renewal situation has become urgent and now everything is settled. An official announcement is prepared and ready. Let's start with you, Al. Do you think an actual announcement is prepared and ready, or are you just hoping that it gets done this year?
Honestly, with this thing and how long it's been, I don't really know. I don't even feel confident even that they say it's all done. But I do remember the words of Mirko Di Natale when he was on our show, saying just the fact that everybody involved wants it done. And the fact is, it will get done. I do also have to give Cliff hell because I spent yesterday in a discussion having to defend where Paulo Dybala stands in the world as a football player and amongst Juventus players. So, and it was from Ivan, and Ivan's a friend of the show's, great guy, but he's got a bit of an agenda against Paulo, and he put out a tweet saying Juventini are wrong to put him up in the names of, Platini, Del Piero, whatever. And I'm saying, whoa, who's put him up there? Nobody has put him up there. But do not think for a second Alberto would let it slide that Ivan slid in the name Christian Vieri ahead of Dybala. I will shut you down right there because Dybala means a hell of a lot more to Juventus than a guy who spent 1 year and scored 8 goals. So nobody's putting Paulo Dybala up on this crazy pedestal, but to deny the fact that he is crucial to our team and how our team plays isn't fair. That part still stands. And there's a big reason. My one shutdown to Ivan was there's a big reason Max Allegri chose to somewhat ostracize CR7 to make Paolo the focal part of the project. So there's a lot more to it there. But do I think it's going to get done? Yeah, absolutely. Is the agreement already completed? I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Cliff, what do you think, buddy?
So I'm a little bit in disagreement with Al. I do think this deal definitely gets done in this year. I'm confident it gets done by the end of this year.
How's that disagreeing? I said it's getting done.
Oh, you
Simmer
said
down, you two.
Oh, I thought you said it was gonna be done after the year was over. I'm sorry. I thought I misheard you then.
The problem here is that we've been
free.
spending too much time together, the three of us. We need to bring somebody else in for the midweek stuff. I think that's the problem. Bickering like old women.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cliff, go ahead.
It's okay. It's like an old married couple on this show. But yeah, I think Paulo Dybala. So for years wise, I think they were talking in the range of 3 to 4 years. I hope one of those years gets done because I want to lock him in for a good amount of time because if he's going to be the focal point, that's very crucial. But yeah, I love it. He's our focal point. He's one of my favorite players that I've been watching over this past decade. I've watched essentially him grow as a player from going from Palermo to Juventus and then becoming a star and having his breakout season in what was it 2016-17. He was absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, we want to see him get back to the form that he once was in. And it seems like once he gets on the pitch, like the play is fine. It's just, can he stay healthy? His mindset looks like it's there. I'm really excited to hopefully re-sign him.
So it was Cliff who caused all this commotion on Twitter. It was a simple little tweet to say, yeah, Paulo Dybala is top 5. All of a sudden, I'm getting it from different angles. Who's the numbnuts who called him in the top 5? So it was quite the scene yesterday. If you can't find it, don't worry about it because you're just going to lose brain cells trying to read all that. A little bit of news on the Supercopa. Now I know this wasn't, to me, it's not a big deal, but I know Al's going to go off on this. So they announced the location of the Supercopa between Inter and Juventus to be at the San Siro in Milan. We won the Scudetto 9 times in a row. Not once was it hosted in Torino. Inter wins it once and they get a home game. Is this even a story for you guys? I'd like to start with Cliff, or do you even care? For me, it's a non-story.
I mean, there's probably a little bit in it, but we're probably making something out of nothing. I don't think there's much in it. Well, let's let Al take it.
It's bullshit. Come on, guys. Seriously, what is this? 9 years running, you don't get to host it once. They get it back from our own blunders, and now all of a sudden they get to host it. I don't really give a shit, guys. We're just gonna go into their house and whoop their ass anyways, and take the cup home. So it is what it is. It'll feel better doing it in their house, but it is kind of stupid.
It's amazing how Al shifts spots, and all of a sudden he's a different human being.
Yeah.
Well, I guess when it comes to Inter, you'll always become a different human being.
I just honestly can't stand them with every ounce of my being. But you know what? Hey, I said it yesterday. What did I say? Maybe we should get our lawyers ready to dispute where this thing's being held. Like they're getting their lawyers ready for everything. So it's just like it's a joke. That team's a joke.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole De Laurentiis and the lawyers with the, we'll let that pass because our lawyers beat UEFA. So I don't doubt how good Agnelli's lawyers are. So we'll let that one pass. But let's switch gears to Allegri's presser yesterday. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I haven't watched too many of his pressers, and that was a good one. Antonio sent it to us in the group chat. He was really it's always good to see a presser when you can hear the question and the complete answer, right? When you only get snippets of it, it tends to be it taken out of context. But he was kind of giving the journalists the gears a little bit on who's starting. They kept asking who's starting. So he guaranteed 3 players to start He guaranteed actually 4 players to start: Pedin, De Ligt, Chiesa, and Dybala. He says Rabiot has recovered. Is Rabiot on the bench today? Can someone help me out with that?
Sorry?
Is Rabiot on the bench?
I believe he's on the roster for the match today.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's on the bench. He's not going to be starting from any of the projecteds I see, but yeah, he's there. It's Keane and Bernardeschi, I believe, out. So
Keane and Burrow, the only ones out. So we're looking to, so the potential lineup that we're looking at with, he did indicate that Arthur could be starting, and I guess we'll get into the breakdown of the match and the predictions a little bit later. But it looks like it's going to be an Arthur Locatelli starting in the middle. Cliff, I'd like to get your thoughts. Is this the time for these two to really shine? Is that going to be our starting midfield going forward with Arthur and Locatelli in the middle?
I think this is a great match to test it. This is one of those matches where it's like, it's not a team that's like, oh, we're just gonna run them over, but it's not a team that like either way, it's not a blowout win, but it's also not a team that you should be taking lightly. It's not either way. So I think it's a good match where the midfield isn't super strong, where you could see how they play when there's probably not going to be a ton of pressure on them in the midfield. It's not like they're playing an Inter midfield that's a lot stronger. This is a great test to see how they progress, and then you play them in another match, maybe against like a Genoa or something, and you keep seeing how they develop together and how they play off of one another, and then you take it from there. If they have a stinker, you take it with a grain of salt and you move on to the next game and you try to play that in another one. But I anticipate Artur and Locatelli to have a really good game together, and I'm really excited to see that pairing going forward. I think that's the pair that we want to ride with if we go 4-2-3-1.
Al, I know this is a lineup that you've been waiting for. I guess we'll just roll right into the lineup, and then I'll get your thoughts on it. So the possible lineup we have, definitely we have Pedin starting in net. Then we got the triple Ds at the back with Danilo, De Ligt, and De Sciglio with Bonucci. And then we're going to have Cuadrado, Locatelli, Arthur, and what I saw was Bentancur, McKennie, and then you're going to have Dybala and Chiesa up top. I think that's going to be our strongest lineup. I'd like to get a little bit of your feedback on that lineup.
I was saying it in the tactical breakdown. Morata is going to be big for this one. You want a number 9 in this match, and honestly, I wouldn't even have fear if it's Caio Jorge. And some might say that's crazy, but you want a number 9 against this because Sassuolo has a major tendency to leave their center backs high and dry. They get stretched out across the back so easy. We don't need to get cute about this. We need to get Chiesa and Cuadrado to stretch them out wide, and you need a 9 to constantly be on that back line. Dybala will cook if he's in behind there because he's going to be the one breaking the lines. If you have Arthur and Locatelli in there, they control this match with ease, and Dybala will be able to run everything in behind the lines there. We don't have to get cute about this. Sassuolo, if you watch their games, they're brutal at the back. The other thing is too, why you want like a number 9, someone that can attack aerially. If McKennie's going to be in there with one those other midfielders, if you want to go this 4-4-2 thing we're going, that's kind of hybrid, I'm okay with that too, because Sassuolo's awful aerially. So you want some aerial threats, and if you've got Chiesa and Dybala up top, you kind of lose that. So I think, again, don't get cute about it and just play it straightforward the way the game is ahead of you guys. It's not that Sassuolo needs to be taken lightly, but we need to start dictating games with what we can do and shining on their weaknesses. So for me, I'd have a true number 9 up at the top there, but I would have Chiesa on the wing. And this is the one thing I said, even against Inter, we just need to figure out the setup that puts all our guys in their strongest areas and go from there. So 4-5-1 that turns into a 4-2-3-1, whatever it may be, you got to get Chiesa coming off the wing. He still hasn't truly shown that he could be this one of these two up top, but to take a true 9 out of this one is strange given how Sassuolo struggles. So that's just my 2 cents.
That's a good, and before I get Cliff to jump in, if anyone hasn't seen Al's tactical breakdown. It was posted yesterday on the. You can find it at the All Juve cast on YouTube. It's great. It's short. It's quick. It's to the point, and he doesn't mess about with it. So Al, once again, great job on those. I know some of the watchers asked for it, and you gave it to them, and you're going to give it to them every week. It takes a lot of work to put those together. So I know Al and the team would appreciate if you give those a look. So flipping back to Cliff, what do you see? Maybe your keys to the game, because Al put those in his thoughts in the breakdown yesterday. What are your keys to the game today against this side that stinks?
So he had to throw it in there. I think it's worth noting. I always say this every time. I think this team truly fits best in a 4-2-3-1. I don't think Allegri is going to run it truly in that formation. He has this other setup where he wants to start as like a 4-4-2 in some matches, and like Al says, he likes to flip it and kind of transform mid-game, kind of what Pirlo did, like we said, but he does it a little bit. He does it more effectively because he has more experience, obviously managing players and formations and tactics. But I think the key to this game is really shutting down Raspadori. Don't let him find too much space and being creative, because if he finds space, he's going to either go to goal himself, or if he's going to distribute it to Scamacca or Berardi and, find a way to get goals. So you really have to shut down that trio of Scamacca, Raspadori, and Berardi, because they're very dangerous. So that's really the key to this match. But I think the midfield-wise, we'll control the midfield. I think you see a Juve comfortable on the ball. You see a Juve that controls the midfield comfortably, 65% of the possession, I'd say. And then that back line, like Al said, they should destroy them. They should absolutely destroy that defense. They should be able to Dybala dropping it to kind of receive the ball, and then have the option to turn, go to goal himself, or look to distribute to the wings, and then look for a final ball into Morata. That will be the key to the game. Morata needs to be clinical. Dybala needs to be on his game, and the wingers need to make sure that they're doing their job, giving supporting runs.
Yeah, this team stinks. It's all good points, but I don't want to get into my keys yet, because they kind of play into a bit of the history of this tie. So, without further ado, should we get into a little bit of trivia? Now,
let's do it.
Al, did you study?
No, not at all.
Clifford?
Like most of my tests in college, I did not study.
Okay, so this is a relatively young tie between these two teams, because Sassuolo came up into the Serie A in what year?
Oh,
I know this one.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. 2012.
Albert?
I don't think it was 12. I thought it was a bit later. Georg's at 14, and I would have been 2014, 15, somewhere in there.
No. You guys are off to a hot start. 2013, 2014 was our first season. So, yeah, good job. All right. So
I was off by 1.
Yeah, that's right. But you're still off.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Damn it. Come on, man.
So, like I said, not a lot of games between these two.
Yeah.
But since the 2013-2014 season, and I'm going to try not to fumble over myself with these, because, it's there's not a lot of information, because Sassuolo stinks. Since the 2013-2014 season, these teams have played 16 times. How many wins for Juventus?
I go with 10.
Well, if I was going to go with that, I guess I got to change mine. So I'm going to go with 9 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss.
9 wins.
Oh, no,
3
draws,
draws,
2 losses.
2 losses. So that's 14 games. But okay. So the answer is 12 wins. We are 12 of 16. So the magician, obviously the magician Allegri, he's going to get it. Look at this. Look at this guy.
Allegri should know.
Boom.
Yeah.
So 12 out of 16, that's a pretty good. Did we say how many losses? Do you guys know how many losses we have against this team?
2.
2? I thought 1.
That's right, Al. It's only the 1 loss.
Yeah.
So do you know what year that loss came in? Do you remember? this really isn't a
19?
question, but
It was 2015.
oh, this guy.
Oh, there you go. Boom.
So the 2015-16 season was the only
That's not right.
the only time we lost to this stinky club. Now, in the 2015-16 season, this is a bonus question for you too. In the 2015-16 season, which we won the Scudetto with 91 points. So you have to do some quick math. How many losses did we have that season? So we had 1 to Sassuolo. How many more do we have? So how many total?
4 total.
5.
Man, you want to know something? I think Albert did study because it is 5 losses. I'm not going to get into how many, who it was or who it was to, but so now. So obviously we've played this team 16 times, 8 times at home, 8 times away. What is our home record against this team?
Undefeated.
We have 12 total wins. How many home wins?
You said 12 total wins?
Mhm.
I'm going to go 7. But by
Of
your
the 8
expression.
games, yeah. At the
The
8
eight
games at
yeah.
home.
Yeah, 7.
I don't think did we lose the one? I don't think we lost at home. I think we're perfect.
I think we won. I think we lost 1.
We might have drawn 1, maybe. 7.
1. You're stealing my answer, Al.
It's all about being correct. Cliff, you should be happy. You might have a shot if I guess.
That's the answer right there. 7 wins, 1 draw.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it?
Obviously, the game is at home today, so we should be expecting hopefully a large margin of victory.
Record, I picked it first, though. I picked it first.
Yeah, I'm not giving you credit for anything. So moving on to the, as I said, this team stinks. What is our largest margin of victory against this team?
Oh, that one
Or
where
scoreline.
Khedira went off. I think Khedira went off in that game. It was like a 6. Is it a 6 or a 7?
Did you say 5-1?
I think it was a 7-0 or like a 6-0.
Is it really? Well, I guess we'll see what Ann says.
Was it 6-0 or 7-0?
Come on, Al, I need
You
your
were
answer.
dropping the 7-0, and I feel like it was 7-1 or 6-1, or it's somewhere around there. I'm just gonna go. Why is 6 sticking with me? But everybody's saying 7-1. I'll just go with the 7-0. I think it was a 7-0.
When you ask the bleachers, sometimes the bleachers give you gold. And Jorge is right. 7-0.
There we
An
go.
absolute shellacking at home.
Was that the first season that they were in Serie A the second when we had Tevez?
That win came. I actually have it up here. Give me a second. I don't know if somebody.
Hey, worth noting, Mr. Allegri himself only thinks in his highest victory he can score 3.
I mean, that sounds about right, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't expect 7 today. Like 7 would be 7 would be wonderful. Let me just bring that up really quick. I got too many pieces of paper out here. The 7-0 came in that. It came off in round 23 of the 2017-2018 season, and that son bitch was 4-0 at halftime.
Nice.
Hopefully we can bring that back today. So in this fixture, which there's only been 16 games, which player has the most goals for Juventus against Sassuolo in all competition? And I'll just say, I only have Serie A matches because I'm not sure if we played them in the Coppa or anywhere else. So I'll just say in the 16 Serie A matches, which player has the most goals? And as a bonus, how many?
It's against Sassuolo. I want to say it's Bibita. I feel like Bibita, but we know Khedira went off on him too. But I say it's Bibita. I say Higuain.
I actually want to say Morata just because with his 2 stints with Juve, he's probably played them quite a handful of times. So I'm going to say Morata, and I'm going to guess 7 goals.
I think it's Bibita between 6 and 8.
So 7?
Yeah, let's just go Bibita with 7.
That's the only number between 6 and 8. So
this is
it could be 6, 7, 8.
This is quite the display going on here by the gaffer. It is Gonzalo Higuain with 7. And Morata has 0 goals in this tie.
I'm
from
out.
what I can see. He's
I
never
don't like
scored against. So that's a
Might be
good guess
true.
there. So we've scored a bunch against this team in 16 games. We've scored a total of 41 goals. Now Juve, in the last little piece of information for everybody here, in 9 of 16 games against this dumpster fire that we played today, we've scored at least 3 goals in 9 of 16. For Juventus, how many players have scored hat tricks against Sassuolo?
2.
2. Kadir and Pipita.
Stop stealing my answers, Al.
You will be right if I do, so you should want it.
Gosh.
Okay, so let me help you out here. So Higuain is 1.
Yeah.
The actual answer is that there's 3 players that have scored hat tricks.
I wasn't sure if
Higuain.
there was a third.
Who are the other 2?
Kadira's got a hat trick against them.
So
Tevez.
Kadira is 1. I'm not saying if he's right or wrong. I'm just writing these down. Kadira. Who else?
Tevez.
Possibly. That's it. Anybody in the bleachers want
They
to throw
came
something out
in
here?
the 14-15 season, and that was Tevez's last year. Tevez.
Now you're stealing my answers again.
So Higuain scored 3. So Higuain's the leader. He has
Vidal is a very good shout. I'm gonna go Dybala too.
So the answer is Dybala has a hat trick. I believe that game was 3-0
Nice.
when he scored his hat trick, and the other one was way back when they were a complete dumpster fire. Sassuolo, the Apache Tevez with the other hat trick. So, like I said, not an old tide, not a lot to get into with the history, but I thought you guys did pretty well.
That's a good little trivia there run by Anthony. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, you're happy with it because you got most of it right. So.
Gafford did better. He knows.
Yeah.
I will be honest.
We'll have
I'm
to
not
find stiffer competition for me. Cliff stinks.
I stink like Sassuolo, I guess.
You see what happens when you get into different. When you get into different seats here in the broadcast.
It's actually tough to try and remember, like especially narrowing down years.
That's the thing. I'm really bad with history.
The funny thing is anytime I do these trivias and I try to remember seasons, people laugh all the time. It's like I put it together because I'm a jersey collector, the jerseys and the years, and then like the memories. It's how I like kind of remember things is always the kits. I could tell you like the players that were on that team based on thinking back to the kit of that season, and then it puts together moments and stuff like that. It's really weird. Anyways.
For me, it's the UCL ties. I remember the UCL moments more than anything.
Yeah. Anthony,
so
well done.
We have a couple guys
trivia.
jumping in here. Kadira with a hat trick from now. The World Wide Web is never wrong, but sometimes it might be. I've seen Kadira. Kadira has scored in 3 games against this dumpster fire. 1 game he did have 2, but he didn't have a hat trick. So amazingly enough, Ronaldo had 5 goals against these. So I guess the top was Higuain with 7, Ronaldo with 6, Dybala with 5, and Tevez with 4. All right, moving on to the. Should we do the predictions, or is there any more news you'd like to talk about, Al?
No, I don't think so. As far as news, we can get into thoughts on this match and how it's going to go before we get into that. The lineups, if anybody would have anything different. But I just wanted to point this out because he makes a really, really good point and something we touched on too. Allegri himself loves Sassuolo as one of his favorite opponents because they do not park the bus. And I made that very, very clear on the breakdown to this one. They are straightforward 4-2-3-1 and they don't change for anyone. Okay. The only match that they did that and switched it up was against Atalanta. And all they did was take that one that was ahead of their 2 pivots and they moved him back in behind the line of defense to have 4 levels straight across the pitch to try and hurt Atalanta a little bit differently. But for the most part, this is why I don't see Juve struggling today, and they really shouldn't. because Sassuolo doesn't change for anybody. Like they play their game, and that's what they believe in, and they go for it.
Can
That's it.
can I just also give them credit, because I want to give Sassuolo some credit, because they're one of the one teams I respect, because they don't just sit back and park the bus. They actually play with some, with some passion, some vigor, and they're not scared to play against anybody. There's a lot of teams that shell up as soon as the game starts because they don't want to concede, and they just want to, like Benevento, for example, last season. They put out good performances against Juventus. They just closed themselves off for the whole match. At least Sassuolo doesn't do that. They at least give it a good run. They want to give the people a good match.
So Cliff wanted to give me some Achida this morning, bring up Benevento last season. Thanks, Al. Haven't even finished my Cliff. Haven't even finished my coffee yet. So moving into the keys of the game, I know we touched on this a little bit. So maybe Cliff, we'll start with you. 1 or 2 points where you think Juventus needs to really tighten up in this game or really loosen up in order to come away with the 3 points.
I would be really impressed if they came up with a clean sheet. I'd love to see them be extremely tight at the back. They've had very well organized lines up to this point, but I don't want to see them get into breakdowns on the counter. Say off a corner kick, a ball gets kicked out, and then they go on the counter. I don't want to see them get out of shape. I want to see them keep their shape. I want to see them, drop back, and I want to see them put in good tackles. If that defense could shore themselves up and they could look confident in this Sassuolo match, I'd be really happy to see this match go out in a 3-0 or 4-0. That would be like the best case scenario. Obviously, that's wishful thinking, but if they can hold a clean sheet, that'd be great. And on the attack, I want to see Morata and Dybala link up play. That is going to be the key to this match.
Without ruining your tactical video too much, what else you want to add to what you already said yesterday and this morning?
Not a whole bunch, really. Again, straightforward. We don't have to get cute with this. Midfield control the game. Dybala breaking the lines. I think the big key for Juve is to play at a strong pace. If we keep things slow, it never, ever benefits us. So again, line them up as they should be and go. We get a big boost in the fact that Boga shouldn't be going by the looks of it for Sassuolo. That's one of the keys to stopping this team. Sassuolo, they love to get it out to the wings and go from there. So now that makes it a lot easier because there's really one winger you got to hone in on, and then Raspadori. But the way Allegri sets up his defense actually makes things very, very difficult for Sassuolo because it's going to force them to play through avenues they don't normally. So it'll be very, very interesting. But again, it's shaping up. Everything's shaping up there for Juve to take it to them. And I expect them to.
So a little bit of praise here from the Mister himself. He actually watched your tactical video yesterday. Maybe he was, getting some pointers to see how he can help out his boys today, come away with the 3 points. And Allegri did say in his presser yesterday, and not in a demeaning way to his opponent, but he said, I would like to get 2 or more here, or win by 2 or more. So hopefully the boys can get that form. And like I said before, the goals in this normally come in bunches. So 9 of 16 fixtures, we've scored at least 3 goals. And Juve have at least 2 goals in the last 6 meetings with Sassuolo. So good sign, bang a couple of goals. I don't see Sassuolo scoring. Definitely not more than 2. So I think if we get to 2, that'll be our safe number, like having a safe word. Max has his full team available, right? There's not really many excuses. He has essentially everybody available. Okay, down Keane and Berna, but I don't see them being as game changers at this point. With the injuries, Berardi is their main man, I would say. If we can shut him down, I don't think that's going to be pretty hard to do. Just mimic what half the teams in the Euros did, and you can shut him down quite easily. One of the things that really isn't talked about, and Allegri did bring it up in his presser, is that he was giving, I'm not sure if this was a shot or not, but the Sassuolo's coach. So you have Alessio Dionisi, first-year coach. He coached 1 year with Empoli and then 1 year with Venezia, and this is his first year with Sassuolo. So, I know how you said they line up with the same formation, and I think if Allegri throws any sort of screwball at him, any sort of tactical deviations I don't think this kid's going to be able to keep up with Allegri. So do you see Allegri having to dig into his bag of tricks at all too much to pull this one out?
I don't think so. No, like I said, if they're going to come out, and all signs point to yes, that they will, because Sassuolo's faced tough opponents and they've played the same way. So if they weren't going to shell up earlier, I see no reason why they would shell up now against Juve, to be honest. And that plays to Allegri's strength. Either way, even if they do shell up, then we just control it even more. And if you're going to have Artur and Locatelli out there, sure, give us control. And Dybala is going to be out there, so we'll have a better chance of breaking down the bus if they park it. Yeah, I think either way, we're in fine shape for this one. Again, the big key for me is have a 9 out there, because, like I said, overall goals, they've only allowed 12 in 9 matches. I think Juve's allowed 11, if I'm correct. So it's not that they're allowing a lot of goals, but they are leaky in terms of how many opportunities they give the opposition by getting stretched out at the back there. I don't think we have to get cute about it. Again, we have enough talent on the pitch in all the projected lineups that I've seen that we should have no issues. This should be a good one, and I expect a few goals. And I agree with you, Anthony. I mean, maybe we allow 1, but I don't see us allowing more than 1. And I can't see this one ending in any other way than a victory. And that's not a disrespect to Sassuolo, because I do agree with Cliff that I like the fact that they believe in themselves and play their game, no matter who the opponent is, no matter if some of us think it's maybe not the smartest decision. I do give them credit for trying to build off something and have an identity and play to a certain manner. And to be honest, it makes sense for them to play that way, because if you have a wing with Boga and Berardi, and then you've got, Scamacca in the middle or Raspadori, that's tough. That gives you a lot of options, and those wingers are tricky and pacey and can do damage. So the way they play is smart for the personnel they have. Today, though, without Boga, it's a big one. And again, the only thing with them is their biggest strength opens up a glaring weakness. And I fully expect Juve to be prepared by Max to capitalize on that. So,
and this is some great advice from the Mister himself. This is what actually myself and my brothers do quite a bit. Just mute the commentators and try and put your phone away. Actually, I like having my phone with me just to kind of talk with the boys in behind the scenes about what's going on with the game. Well, we went through the news, we went through the trivia, which unbelievable. Great day today, Cliff. Not so much. How about we move on to predictions? What do you think?
Yeah.
You think you guys are ready for that?
Yes, sir.
So I know, Cliff, you've already fired out a couple predictions beforehand and on here, but those are not official until we click the pen. All right. So let's start off with halftime score. Halftime. So, and all you sweat hogs in the bleachers, feel free to play along. I think this chat's being recorded, so we can always go back and make fun of you later. So let's start, Clifford, with the halftime score.
I think they start 2-1 Juventus at half.
2-1. All right. Albert?
2-0 Juve at half.
Yeah, I'm going to go. So just so you know, I've already written all mine down. So these are not. So if I say, oh, that's the same as yours. No, you're actually stealing mine. So I'm going to go 1-0 at a halftime. I think we're going to get a slow start. And then full-time score, Clifford?
3-1 Juventus.
3-1. You think they score a goal? Interesting.
I think they get one.
3-1
now. 3-1. You just talked about how it's going to be a tactical.
2-0, 3-1. They might get one.
See,
but Rugani might still play. 3-0, 3-0. I can't be associated with Cliff any longer. 3-0. We're done.
Oh Lord.
I also am going with the 3-0 score line, and we got some here. Some people are just absolutely gobsmacked that you guys would even consider having
Why
one
is
goal
our
against.
Mister agreeing that we're going to concede a goal? Come on, Max.
Look at Mister. He's a
Shut
smart
the
man.
door.
He's a smart man.
He's on drugs. I think he's on drugs. Okay, so the scores. Let's go with Al. Let's start with you with your scores.
Goal scorers. Dybala gets 1.
Mm-hmm.
Is Morata going to go or is he not? I've seen both.
I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to go because who
Yeah.
else is going to play?
I'm going to put Morata on a brace and Dybala with the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny because I'm gonna switch it. I think Dybala with the brace and Morata gets 1.
Oh, big surprise, Cliff.
That's the same as mine. That is the same as mine.
See, Cliff is the smart man today. Everybody's copying me.
How do I don't have time to change it.
Thank God nobody copied you on the trivia.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay, let's move to what do we got here? We got Dybala with 1. So Lucci's saying 2. Luca's going with he's saying the young boy bags 1 in. Maybe. Because Keane
throwing out Gaio Jorge there.
Did Keane score against? Oh, I guess Keane
Lucci was
last
on
round.
absolute fire with the last round of predictions.
Yeah, well done, Lucci.
He was. Lucci, I hope you remember these because I am not writing yours down.
How fair is this when Allegri controls the lineup? He's saying Weston's going to score. Look at that.
Well, he is the mister. Okay, Juventus offsides. Just Juventus offsides. Over under 10.5.
Oh, under.
Oh, well,
I was just joking.
4
4 for Juventus total.
4 for Juve total.
Well, he said 4. I was gonna say 4, so now I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna go 5, just so we're not copying each other on every answer.
That's good because I picked 4 as well. First yellow card as a bonus. Which team is going to get the yellow card?
Rugani in the 24th minute. Yellow card.
Sassuolo 55th.
So you said 24th minute Rugani?
If he's playing, is he playing in this match?
So I'll just say Juve for you then.
Yeah.
But so Al, what do you got?
I think Sassuolo probably I'm going to go 42nd minute actually.
It's pretty tight because I went Sassuolo in the 38th. Normally I'm a second half first yellow guy. I like the 54th minute.
Yeah, I was going to go
prediction.
55, but no, it'll be first half. We'll put them under. They'll have
Look
to
at
get
Allegri. Allegri saying poor Rugani. He's deserved it. Let's be honest.
How's he? I don't even think he's played a minute this year. Poor guy. Look at Luke. So Luca's going with Morata in the 38th.
Morata's going to have such a fun time today with all that space. He's going to love it.
Yeah. So shots. Let's go with shots on goal. I'm going to start so you guys don't steal mine. I'm going to go 14 total shots, 6 on target.
Yeah.
I know. That's a good one, isn't it?
That was a good one. Cliff?
Going 14 shots, 9 on target.
Cliff's all about efficiency.
Yeah. So 7 on target, but total probably I'm going to go with 16 in this one.
So you're saying an absolute artillery barrage is going to happen on Sassuolo. So Luca's
we'll have
going
a few waves. few
just
waves
crashing on the beach. Just absolute shots, like water crashing on the beach. So possession. This is a good one. We added this one a couple games ago. This one's really interesting because
it was freaky how I almost nailed that one. I was 1% off.
1% off, which it's not that tough to get. But so Al, let's start with you, bud. Just the split.
It'll be tighter than we think as far as the possession split goes, but it won't feel like that watching the game. So I'm gonna go 58 for Juve.
58-42. All right. Quick math. I think that's 42. Yeah. Clifford?
64-36. Juve.
64. Hang on. Carry this. 36 is right. All right. I'm going to go 57-43. So Al, you and I are playing the Price is Right game. Who's going to be closer? And always some that 62-38. So Luca's going with Luca's going to, kind of on Cliff's mentality here. And he's also saying, oh, what do we have here? Oh, Larry, he's pretty tight in about now. These two teams, it could be a bit of a stalemate in the middle, but probably not. Sassuolo stink.
I have one I want to put out there.
Mhm.
Quick one.
Mhm.
Over under 25 minutes on Kyle George.
Under.
I'm going to go on a limb
Over.
and say over.
Just under.
Just over.
Oh, I like that one. Hang on. Over. OU, Jorge, 25.5. You got to put the half in there.
Oh,
Slappy.
25.5. Okay.
25.5.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll go under then if it's 25.5. I think he gets under 25 minutes. Yeah.
It's you made it up. What do you want?
You went
under.
over and then you just switched. I said under.
I know because that's too bold. I'm going to go under.
So what about
22.5? Still
Cliff
under.
Chicken's out of his own bold.
What am I writing down here? We got 13
Okay,
people
let's
watching.
go
We have
over.
people in the notes.
22.5. Let's go over. Let's go
Like
over.
you just came up with something and
He
just
comes up with his.
I have no
bold-
idea.
I'm going to say a bold call, but then I'm going to completely back out.
Hey, you know what? 20. Let's do 20.5. I'm going to go over.
20
He'll probably
point.
get just around 20. So we're going to be splitting hairs on like a minute that it takes him to walk on the pitch or something like that.
Exactly. This is the point. It's got to be a difficult one.
So, yeah.
25 is too
25
generous.
was perfect. 25 was perfect, and I'd say under. 20, maybe over by 30 seconds or a minute.
I'm going over, baby. I think
I'll
we should
go-
start doing
I'll go
these
under.
over-unders on minutes.
I'll go under.
Cliff's second personality came out.
Yeah, when you have those conflicting internal personalities, you really should start to talk to somebody.
Liam's just throwing out there. More I see of George there, the more I like him. We were talking about it on the last pod. Just without going, out of our minds over it, whatnot. It was refreshing and a great positive sign to see in that type of match, in that scenario that he stepped onto. The amount of poise and control and composure he had, it was pretty impressive actually for just a few minutes. And he's intriguing, right? It's just that kind of tool you have put away that's like you don't really know what you have yet. And it's cool just seeing these little bits. I would love for him to hit 25 minutes in this match against Sassuolo. I would love to see it.
Yeah, I just think.
Go ahead, Cliff.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, I think he's due for a match where Allegri gives him significant minutes just because we've gotten little tastes of him here and there. And I think he's waiting to give him the right opportunity to let him actually cook a little bit.
The Copa's going to be Caio, man. Caio's going to get his minutes in Copa.
So before we get into the little Brazilian actually getting out there like Chef Ramsay and cooking up the place, can we get some man of the match predictions? Man of the match, Clifford. Who do you got, buddy?
The man of the match will be the top man, Paulo Dybala.
That's who I had too.
Smart man.
You know what? That's funny. I was gonna pick that, but now I absolutely can't. So I'm gonna go with Morata.
I mean, he had 2 goals for you, so he's got to be the man of the match
Yeah.
for you.
Well,
I
not
think-
necessarily if one's set up by Dybala and Dybala gets the other goal. I said, and just overall, it's a lot more to it than just the goals.
I know. I'm not naive. I know these things.
Chiesa is man of the match from the Big Bandizi, who we've been missing for a while.
Yeah, where has this guy been? We'd like to know
Yeah.
where you've been. Please come back. Don't ever leave us again
Luca
for the big
giving
bandana.
Artur the shout. Alex P giving Artur the shout.
Ew. That's gross.
Nice.
Liam is obviously well into the pints at this point. Where is he here? There he is.
Solio.
Deep,
Solio.
deep into the pints. But good. Hey, listen, we got a lot out this morning for relatively young tie. Not a lot of history to it. Midweek. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for jumping in midweek. I'd like to thank the boys here for coming midweek. It's tough with everyone's schedules. So some clips, just some quick final thoughts for this game before we get Al to sign us off.
I don't have really anything to add on this match. Just thank you guys for all hopping on and always supporting. We try to put out the best content we can. We have a lot of exciting things to come very, very soon. Like we said, there's gonna be a huge announcement this week. And it might involve another platform. So be ready for that. And thank you to the Gaffer for always having faith in us and letting us do our thing and giving us the opportunities to show our creativity and our knowledge on the game.
Before I get Al to sign us off, thank you for letting me be the host today. I don't think I messed it up too bad. I know Luca had some questions about or some doubts about my intro, but guess what, Luca? I don't really care. Now, everybody out there, like the video, Striped Hearts Apparel. Stuff's really comfortable. Don't doubt its comfort. And like the video, share the video, and always remember, be a friend, tell a friend. Gaffer, sign us off, buddy.
Yeah, Alex had the comment up there before, and just to piggyback off Cliff there, it's not retiring by any means, but we have such an incredibly strong team, and these guys absolutely deserve to get these opportunities and take the reins, and I absolutely love it. I love being on this side, watching you guys cook and do your thing, and just enjoying the show overall. Love the support from everybody. You guys have been asking for content, and we do our best to give it to you. So these tactical breakdowns, everything like that, like Anthony says and asks, the biggest thing for us that helps the community grow even bigger is sharing. Share the videos, just continue to share videos, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, just spread the word to everybody and everybody that's into even football in general. And this is going to play a big part in the announcement that's going to come later this week. Okay, so we got a lot of good stuff. We're always trying to bring you guys what you ask, but again, the support has been tremendous. Of course, Striped Hearts Apparel is our sponsor. Free shipping now, okay, on orders 120 and up. Take advantage of it. But again, we thank you guys all for joining. It is incredibly hard on these midweek ones and busy week. This has been a busy week for Juve. We went from the Derby, Italia. We go into this midweek match against Sassuolo, and then we're right back at it again on the weekend. And it's tough finding the time, but we love doing it, and it's because of all of you. So this is just a massive, massive thank you. Again, I need to say personally, massive thank you to my incredible team. Every single one of you. You guys are all fantastic. Cliff killed it on the weekend. Anthony rocked it today. And the website, don't forget about the website, because a lot of the guys that are in this team are fantastic writers as well. And that platform is the same as what I've tried to do with all UVcast since day one. And it's all about inclusivity. So you guys, if you want to write articles and you want to share your passion for Juve, get over to that website, be a member, reach out to us, and join the writers team. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just about continuing to grow this community the right way with the positive attitude and supporting all one another. And we're having an absolute blast, and the team is growing bigger by the day. So thank you, everybody. And I expect a great victory and for us to celebrate tomorrow morning on the post-match podcast, same time, 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I believe that's 1:30 in the afternoon in Italia there. But again, massive thank you. Let's go out, get that damn win, watch the boys get the job done, which we all have faith in, and then meet back here tomorrow morning and celebrate. Fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao.